Let's take a quick look at SAS. So this is what you see when you launch it. So there's three main windows. The editor, where you edit your code, the log, and Explorer. You can toggle here between results and the Explorer. So let's write a little piece of code where we make a little data set. So data work.myFirst means we want to have a dataset with the name myFirst in the work library, which is the default. The work dot is actually optional, so myFirst or work dot myFirst is the same. And then we want to have two variables, so it's going to be one record with two variables, myVar a number and otherVar being a piece of text. So I select this and then I click F3 or the submit icon, the running guy. So then the log will tell us if this all went well or not. And blue means good, so a data set was created that has one record with two variables. And if we want to inspect that, we need to go into libraries. And here's the work library. The other libraries are default libraries. So I double click on work and then I'll double click on the dataset. And the dataset names are case insensitive. So I had first with a capital, but that capital F is gone and the M got capitalized. But it's case insensitive, so it doesn't matter. So here we have the two variables. So I double click on myVar and it will show the type of that variable, which is a number, and otherVar is character, so it's text, 5 positions long. So that's all fine. So the drawback of using the work folder is that it is temporary, and when you close SAS, then the work library is deleted, or the contents. So to keep data sets, you need to use libraries that refer to places on your hard disk. So I have a temp folder on my hard disk, C:/temp. So I copy that, and I can create a reference to a library with a libname statement. So this means I want the keyword project to refer to the temp folder on my C drive. So when I select this and hit F3, that line gets executed. So it says there's now a project library which refers to this temp folder. So if I click in the Explorer, I click one up, and then here we see the project library, which is empty, and that's correct because it's an empty folder. But now let's copy the myFirst into that project folder. So project.test means we want to have a dataset with the name test in the project library. Set means take as a starting point the myFirst, and run means execute it. So this makes a copy. So now I select these lines, I submit, and then we see the test dataset in the project library, and it also is now on my C drive. So this is good. That means if I were to close SAS, I'll still have those files, and if I open SAS again and run this line, then I'll be able to use that the datasets in that project library.